Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Attack on Titan. Last time on Attack on Titan we had... what was it? Old Story? Was that the last episode? I think it was. Let's see. We got Historia's origin, about how she grew up on a farm, was ignored by her mother, was hated by her mother, actually, and then Kenny came to kill Historia and her mother, killed her mother, but then Rod was like, wait, how about we send her away? And then he did. Then, meanwhile, back in the present, Rod does have Historia and Eren. Eren's just sort of gagged and bound at the moment, but Historia, I think he's thinking that she is going to be the next queen, like he's going to install her as queen. I don't know, but that's definitely Erwin's plan. He's definitely going to try to install Historia as the queen of humanity and reveal all the lies of the previous monarchy, I guess. And we also got a bit of Erwin's backstory, too, which was pretty cool. And where we left off, the Levi squad was heading to the Rice estate, and then they were about to run into some trouble in the forest. Yeah, that was basically that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Attack on Titan, like always, it's down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Attack on Titan. Here we go. Alrighty. So, again, just sort of, drop a reveal. It's Kenny Ackerman. So, okay. Fucking, this name is going all over the goddamn place. I'm gonna have to work on this. Okay, so, obviously, Mikasa is an Ackerman, and that name, presumably, is from her father. So, then, you get Levi Ackerman, you assume, okay, maybe they're related or something, but it's Kenny Ackerman. Kenny Ackerman. So presumably, Levi just, I guess, was adopted by Kenny and took the name, Levi Ackerman. So, Kenny, presumably then, would be related to Mikasa's father, but Levi didn't seem to know Kenny's name, despite the fact that it's his name. So, why does my audio not work? Wait a second. My audio is not showing up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be right back in just a second as I figure out if I've had a technical difficulty or not. 1 second. Okay, we're back. Apparently, my microphone just was not recording that entire episode. Thank God that's the first thing I recorded today, and also thank God that was a bit of a quieter episode, so it was probably fine me just using the camera. Okay, I apologize that the episode was using camera audio as opposed to my nice crispy microphone audio, but for some reason that just wasn't recording. Anyway, so Levi presumably got his name from, unless Levi, I suppose it's entirely possible Levi was born an Ackerman, but then did he just happen to be found by, is it that he happened to be found by Kenny? Maybe Levi doesn't even know his name is Ackerman. I guess that's possible. He's never addressed himself as such. We've only heard Kenny say Levi Ackerman. I don't know. I'm definitely... I hope next episode we get a full explanation of the Ackerman family, because they seem to go all over the fucking place, so... yeah. I'm sorry. I still can't get over the fact that my microphone didn't record for like half an hour. That's ridiculous. Oh well. Again, thank God it was a bit of a quieter episode. It was really just talking so that, it's not impossible to hear my voice. I assume. So. I assume. But you know what they say about assuming. It makes an ass out of you and me.
And I definitely look like an ass just there. Okay. Excuse me, Jesus. New ODM gear. That's the first thing I wrote down. So yeah, I didn't realize how different the ODM gear that Kenny had was. And that is just a new type of ODM gear that doesn't have, the two silos, silo sword sheaths at the waist. Because it's guns, they don't really have, they don't need the whole thing for all the blades. But most of the stuff is on the back as opposed to on the waist, which is interesting. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. I like how they point that out, and I like how the one guy. I'm gonna need to learn the name of the commander of the MPs because he's definitely. I mean, first off, he's a character. I should know his name, but he's definitely getting a lot more prominence now. So I'm gonna need to learn his name. But yeah, I like how he figures out like, look, if the MPs weren't briefed on this new ODM gear, odds are we could be on the receiving end of it. So I like that. Speaking of the MPs, we got our return of Marlowe and Hitch. Marlowe and Hitch sounds like either a weird sitcom or a cartoon from the 70s, doesn't it? Marlowe and Hitch. Like, that sounds like something like you'd see that with like MASH or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, we got the return of Marlowe and Hitch, which, hey, that new recruits. I like that. That was pretty cool. And it's also interesting, they capture them, and, I will say, as much crap as I give the MPs, part of it is justified. Well, first off, they are just following orders. They're soldiers following orders. They haven't had enough exposure to what's happening to really, have reason to defect, like the scouts. And part of that is that they saw that the scouts brought Titans to Stohess and laid waste to it, basically. Whereas, and they've been concerned about Annie. It's like, oh, well, she was probably killed by those Titans. Like, no, she was not. She was one of those Titans. She was Lean Jean. That's it. The plot twist for them is that Annie Leonhardt is Lean Jean. It's so weird to think that this is like 2 weeks after Stohess, by the way. That was so long ago. That was the end of season 1, and it's only been a couple weeks since then, So, yeah, that's all pretty crazy. But yeah, Stohess is still fresh in their memory. But yeah, it was, so for them, it's like, a couple weeks later, they're learning the plot twist about Annie, whereas the scouts have... whereas in the show, it's been like 2 seasons since then, But yeah, Annie Leonhardt is Lean Jean. I do kind of miss my Titans, I kind of miss talking about my Titans, like, oh man, Lean Jean, and here we go, it's time for Bufford, like, we don't get that this season. We don't even get Fat Man and Little Boy or Joe or anything like that, or the Beastie Boy or Pink Floyd's The Wall. None of that. We get nothing. All we get is the raw, holy crap energy of Levi Ackerman, which, I mean, I'll be honest, the more he tortures people, the more I'm like slowly like I'm getting turned on by it. All right, I don't know why. I'm not even into that. And for the most part straight, but it's just I don't know. Levi, he's starting to give me a little bit. Anyway. So yeah. So, and I like, so it's interesting, presumably the plan was to gain the trust of Marlowe and Hitch, and it seemed like it was, so I guess the plan was originally Sasha do it, but Jean decided to take over, which is good. Man, I love Jean. I know he's kind of a goofball joke character, but I don't know, I mean, I still really like the guy. It's like, yeah, he had his, sort of pathetic moments earlier on, simping for Mikasa and stuff, which, I mean, I guess I'm no better. I did the same thing earlier in the show, so, but yeah, it's like, I don't know. I really love Jean. He's just a fun guy, so I like him, being the one to really test them and, see if they would actually join the scouts, and they did. So, and of course, despite that, he did get hit in the face with a stick. But, nah, it all worked out. So I really like that moment. I thought that was good. A good moment for Jean as well. Flagle, I love these names, by the way. Flagle out here doing good. I like that. He's taking up the torch from his father. So that was really cool. Like him standing up and doing all that, and then tricking those MPs. And it's like, all right, we got witnesses, and I was kind of thinking like, okay, are there going to be like officials here or something? Like maybe the other MPs are here or something. And it's like, oh, okay, it's just a bunch of citizens, and also the press is here, which is really good. So yeah, this honestly, I feel like we're just gearing up for the French Revolution. Like we're about to have like, I mean, they already busted out the guillotine. I guess we are kind of there, Let's start using that guillotine on the fake kings and stuff like that, Granted, in the French Revolution, they did not then install a new queen, but close enough. It's, it's a revolution against the old regime and installing a new one, but a new cute one, let's just say. So, I don't know. I like that. It's like we have witnesses, all these citizens here. It's like, we're gearing up for the fucking French Revolution, I feel like, what do we call it? The Mitras, because that's the capital, like the Trost Revolution. Does this like whole country like have a name? I don't remember. I just remember the walls, Sina, Rose, and Maria, but I don't remember if the like the whole country has a name. So I want that. It's the revolution, Viva la revolution. So yeah, that was really cool, getting all the witnesses and stuff. So. Which, I mean, that is clever, because, like they, when they cut back to the nobles, they said, it's like, oh, well, Historia can claim whatever she wants, but nobody's really going to listen to her. It's like, well, if you get a bunch of the people, then it's, because that's the thing, it's like, oh, the government controls everything, they control the truth and stuff like that. It's like, well, but the government's not anything unless they have the people, Like, that's kind of the thing. You need the people. That's what every governing body needs, is support of the people. Otherwise, viva la revolution, we just overthrow them, So I don't know if friggin' Historia is going to be, like the people's queen, like wouldn't that be friggin' awesome? Historia Rice, the people's queen. That'd be so badass. Ugh. And then Ackerman. I assume next episode, or sometime in the next couple episodes, they'll go over the whole Ackerman thing, because Mikasa heard it. It was like, wait, Kenny Ackerman? Wait, I'm Ackerman. The only thing, though, is that how Levi never knew Mikasa's name is Ackerman, I guess he never asked. It's just Mikasa. He didn't care. He hasn't cared enough to ask her last name. So... But is Levi's actual last name Ackerman? I don't know. That whole Ackerman thing is confusing me now. So we'll have to see. I'm just going to wait for the episodes to tell me the whole Ackerman situation. And then the last thing I wrote down is Erwin, who is on trial. Not really. He's not really on trial. They just asked him his last words, So it's not exactly trial, but oh man. I hope they go soon. I hate that it's like, they obviously can't handcuff him because he doesn't have one of his arms, so they just have to tie around his entire torso. Like, that's just horrible, So, but apparently, they said once Erwin dies, everything is going, according to Keikaku. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm curious what their plan is. We didn't get any Historia or Rod in this one. And I still want to know what Rod's up to. Maybe, oh my god, what if Rod actually is like, he's with the scouts and he's suddenly he's like, you know what, let's restore the Rice family to the throne. I don't know. Unless Rod is playing some sort of crazy Palpatine game, which would be amazing too. I have no idea. I want to know what the hell Rod is up to, though. Ugh. I don't know why, but these last two, this episode and sort of what we had at the last episode, like, all right, I'm sort of reinvigorated, Because that's the thing, when we watch, depressing episodes, like, people die, Armin's innocence is lost, we get Historia's tragic origin and stuff like that, it's like, that stuff really does beat me down to the point where I'm just like, okay, well, I gotta record Attack on Titan today. Let's see what we got this time. Oh boy. And it's like, all right, now I don't know like what it is about today that maybe it's the revolution, maybe it's the confusing Ackerman plot, maybe it's because I want to know what the hell Rice is up to, and maybe it's because I'm turned on by Levi. I have no idea, but for some reason I'm reinvigorated on this show again. You know? So sometimes that happens, but I'm back, I'm full force, I'm excited to see where we're going. Of course, we're going to have to wait for next week to find that out, but that's okay. It's always worth the wait to do these, so yeah. That is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Attack on Titan reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.